Alright, hello everyone and welcome to WWE Discussion. I'm your host and WWE enthusiast Dougie Thug. In today's episode I'm going to be discussing Crown Jewel 2023 edition. So WWE would make its return to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for a Crown Jewel premium live event headlined by Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against LA Knight and featuring title defenses by top champions like Rey Mysterio, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Seth Rollins. And with that, we'll go ahead and get right into it, starting with the Women's World Championship match, which was a fatal 5-way. And while the Raw Women's division did shine in this matchup, Rhea Ripley as the champion, her star burns the brightest. So this match was better than perhaps originally expected, and like the best anthology films, the contest was made up of individual segments that highlighted each competitor's in-ring style, while still being part of a larger overarching story. Stark in particular came out of this match looking strong due to her energetic and athletic style. The challengers may have shined, but no star burned brighter than the champion Rhea Ripley, who walked through 2 lines of Saudi princes and held her title over her head, a statement of dominance and display of power. She carries herself like a star, and is accompanied by an aurora that cannot be manufactured, no matter how much pomp and circumstance you put into her entrance. She believes in herself and she believes in the character. Her in-ring work backs it up as well. She was the best worker of the bunch Saturday, and the crowd's reaction to her successful title defense reflected the level she is at as a performer, and more importantly, a star in the WWE Universe. That should not be a surprise, as she's been heading in that direction for a long time, but this is merely the latest example of a woman continuing to realize the potential that I think most people knew when she first walked into Performance Center and when fans first saw her perform in NXT. Now this does raise an interesting it does raise an interesting question of who challenges Rhea Ripley next, because you just put 4 challengers in front of her and she just ran through all of them. And when you look at the matchup, well, Baszler took the pinfall, so that would probably rule her out right there. Rodriguez has already got it in one-on-one title matches against Ripley. Zoe Stark has it, so that's an option. Nia Jax is an option as well, although I don't know how much people want to see that one. World Heavyweight Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. And Seth Rollins' long-term injury story is, well, it's pretty similar to other stories as well. And I think it's just, there's a reason to talk about it, because it's not that it's a bad story, but it's a story that can run, that pretty much runs its welcome. So Seth Rollins overcame his chronic back injury to defeat Drew McIntyre and retain his World Heavyweight title, prompting Wade Barrett to ask on commentary, how many times can you come within milliseconds of losing your title? And it is a familiar story because it's happened both recently and in a not so distant past. Recently in AEW with Orange Cassidy and his international title run, and we all know how that one went. He defended the title a lot, put his body through a lot, and then finally lost the title. It's a long-term storytelling tool that, when executed effectively, builds sympathy and drama, and thus far it's been working for Rollins, but Saturday's match and the positive reaction from McIntyre does raise the question of how long can WWE tell this story without paying it off. Rollins has repeatedly overcome his injury, and if he continues to do so, it becomes a storytelling crutch, and that's not a good thing. It is similar to the insurmountable odds that John Cena regularly faced as the top good guy in WWE during the late 2000s. Now that trope would eventually be rejected, causing fans to turn on Cena and root for his opposition, whoever that would be, so that they could end his title run as champion. Now Rollins is not there yet, thanks to a more layered character and performer, but at some point the injury story has to pay off. Now it's likely that will be when Damian Priest cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase, winning the title as the back serves as an out for Rollins. And if that is the case, then the story will likely go the way it did for Cassidy, with the mounting physical toll costing Rollins his gold. Timing, as is often the case, will be everything. So yeah, when does Rollins drop the title? When does the back injury get to become too much? I guess we shall see. And even though McIntyre came up short, still a good performance, still came out of this one a winner, even though he doesn't have the title. So, moral victory. John Cena versus Solo Sikoa, and well, Sikoa is a made man after his performance against Cena. Much was made of Cena's promo on SmackDown, a one-sided verbal beatdown that the WWE social media accounts tried to brush off, but fans, they weren't so quick to brush that one off, and it's understandable. But let's be honest, so Sikoa is not known as a promo guy anyway, so Cena was going to cook him on the mic regardless. But as it turns out, that kind of promo, it works when Sikoa, it worked because Sikoa proceeded to obliterate Cena on a major premium live event. Major premium live, at a major premium live event. So this is exactly, that is exactly what happened Saturday, as the enforcer of the Bloodline shrugged off everything Cena threw at him and proceeded to demolish him with multiple stone spikes before pinning him for a definitive victory. There was no question as to whether Sikoa was the better man. All the insults hurled his way rang hollow as he stood victorious over Cena. This was his best booking to date, and the match to look back on as the moment Sikoa was firmly established as one of the top guys in WWE's bright future. Cena's selfless performance was a testament to his understanding of how the business moves forward, but also almost a probe given how important his match with the late great Umaga at the 2007 Royal Rumble was to establish him as the face of the company. This may have been the single most valuable match on the card based on the long-reaching effect it has on WWE. So yeah, Cena, a singles match at Theory was terrible and didn't really do a service to Theory, but this match was different. And this match did a service to Sikoa. I don't know if this is Cena's. Now there's that speculation about it being Cena's last match. It's probably his last match of 2023, but last match overall. I don't know about that. I don't know if he goes out on Crown Jewel. No offense to Crown Jewel, but I guess we shall see. U.S. Championship match, Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul, and Logan Paul caps off a monumentous year for him with a U.S. title win. So there is a United States champion in WWE, and his name is Logan Paul. There will be those who criticize it as a promotional tactic, and there will be credence to that claim based on the attention and social media buzz that the booking decision will bring. But make no mistake about it, the Maverick earned this title win. A year ago at the same Crown Jewel event, he put the wrestling world on notice with a legitimate match of the year candidate against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Since then, he delivered another show-stealing performance against Seth Rollins on the grand stage of WrestleMania, and had the pressure squarely on his shoulders during a SummerSlam showdown with Ricochet. Like it or not, he capped off a year of growth and evolution in the pro wrestling industry with a win over a Hall of Famer, Rey Mysterio, and the match only served to solidify his status as the greatest celebrity performer in WWE history. It was an earned win because of the mainstream attention, sure, but also because he's repeatedly improved between the ropes to the point that he might be better at this gig than some guys who have been doing it for a decade. Now that might be a controversial take, and I don't know if I 100% believe that, but the proof is there when you look at some of the high-profile matches in which he's competed, their overall quality, and the importance of them to the shows in which they appear. Paul is a legit professional wrestler, and if his work to this point is any indication, he's only going to get better. Look for a WrestleMania title defense, as he at least is going to hold the gold until that long. And also, you just got to give credit to, another thing I got to give credit to him too, and there was a spot in the match where Rey Mysterio tried to do a moonsault, and that could have been absolutely disastrous, but Paul had the wherewithal to catch him and save him from falling on his head. So shout out to Paul for that one. He's got great instincts in the ring too. I mean, that, like or dislike the guy, you can't discount what he does inside that ring. It is special. WWE Women's Championship match, Io Sky versus Bianca Belair, and Kairi Sane makes her return to WWE and brings with her some multi-layered storytelling, which is something the women's division could always use. So Kairi Sane made her much-anticipated return to WWE, costing Bianca Belair the Women's Championship and standing triumphantly with a victorious Io Sky. The return of the internationally celebrated competitor is huge news in its own right, but creatively, it opens the door for some multi-layered storytelling, which has become a trademark of Triple H's creative efforts. There was the look on Bayley's face as she watched Sky and Sane celebrate that told the story of a the leader of a damage control leader realizing that her faction is falling apart before her very eyes, especially following the miscommunication that nearly cost the Genius of the Sky her title earlier in the match. Also, too, when Sky laid out Bayley, she didn't really seem that concerned about it. Add to that the previous issues between Bayley and Sane, and you have story material for weeks of television. Also add in the fact that Sane eliminated Belair from the Mae Young Classic in 2017 and cost her a title here, and also that her former best friend and tag team partner, who she was tag team champion with, Asuka, is also on SmackDown as well. And you have a couple other story elements that Triple H can utilize while re-energizing the SmackDown Women's division, all due to the return of a single superstar The key will be keeping Sane important, relevant, and reminding fans why she is as important as she is. Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus LA Knight. And stop if you heard this one before. Roman Reigns retained the Universal Championship in the main event of a premium level event thanks to interference from the Bloodline. That may seem like a negative sentiment, but it's actually not. If you think about Reigns' entire character, it's based on the idea that he believes he's the best. He touts himself as such, but he's always relied on his family to get him out of sticky situations. Sami Zayn called him out on it. Jey Uso realized it for himself, and the WWE Universe has been privy to it over the last 3 years now. Is it a well that WWE goes back to too much? Sure, but it's effective booking. It is an effective booking method that has evolved as he has lost support around him. Perhaps the point of strengthening Sikoa earlier in the show is for him to eventually stand out on his own against Reigns sometime before WrestleMania. Jimmy Uso has been treated like a lackey for weeks, but he has shown that he's capable of standing up for himself and likely will before the Enforcer departs, ultimately leaving the Tribal Chief without a drab, just as Cody Rhodes foreshadowed last year. Not only Cody Rhodes foreshadowed that. Basically, not only is it effective booking as evidenced by how hot the WWE product is, but it also allows LA Knight to retain his heat and have an out. Repetitive, yes, yeah, but it helps Knight more than it enhances reign, and that had to be the goal coming into this. Thus, it works. It's a success. LA Knight comes up short, but he still is a megastar. And with that will conclude this episode of WWE Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.